channel? Well, if you're not, hit the subscribe button because he's giving out free picks each and every week. Hope you have a good rest of your day.
NFL Week 4 is here, guys. Some big matchups to break down this week. We will look at the Ravens versus Chiefs. One of those teams are going to be starting 1-3. Crazy, right? Maybe not. We'll look at that shortly. Packers versus Cowboys. And the Monday Nighter. Not a big matchup, but like always, I like to stick to my routine. We always talk the Monday Night Football game. The other one is Jets and Dolphins, so let's not talk that. But Broncos versus Bengals. Important game for the Broncos. I'll tell you why. Link.me/system capping for client opportunities. Support the system, records, resume, and more. Currently handicapping the NFL, PGA, and UFC. PGA Ryder Cup. Love attacking those matchups. That's going to be fun. UFC is back this week with UFC Perth. Look out for the podcast shortly. Week 3 wasn't kind to myself. Probably a lot of bettors out there. Some interesting upsets, some bad beats as well. We'll quickly go over those. Didn't get caught by too many underdogs. Now, I did have the Ravens in a money line pair, would kind of ruin the week. We're going to have a little Ravens rant. We call it the Ravens rant. Remember, I've done a few of these before. Not even just on the Ravens, maybe other teams. But this Ravens team needs a rant against them. And if you do follow Ravens Nation, you probably heard a ton already, but just a terrible effort and performance, mainly from the defense. Let's be honest. The defense and Derrick Henry, the O-line wasn't great as well. They allowed a lot of pressures. I think just Detroit had a great game plan. Ravens got out-coached. They were less physical, just on all aspects of the game. Derrick Henry, another fumble. 3 fumbles, 3 games. Derrick Henry just doesn't make sense. He had 3 all of last year. 2 of those fumbles, huge fourth quarter fumbles against the Bills and the Lions. 111 points scored, guys, most in the NFL. 97 allowed. Tied with Miami. You don't want to be tied with Miami in anything. This is also the most points they've allowed in franchise history, guys. Now, it's only 3 weeks, but there's issues here. I do believe Zach Orr needs to go. Defensive coordinator. He had issues last year. Then he got a little better. Now he has issues again. Younger defensive coordinator. If you look at the bright side, it's Detroit and Buffalo offenses. 2 top offenses in the NFL. So you can look at it that way, right? When they played Cleveland, they look a lot better. Only 3 weeks, guys. But there are concerns with this Ravens team. Didn't expect them to be 1-2. I saw 2-1. I didn't think they're going to win all 3 games. They have a tough schedule, guys. We'll talk about that here shortly. Let's talk about the bad beat last week. It wasn't the Ravens game. It was the Rams. Plus 3.5. And even the money line. You can argue it was a bad beat too. Obviously, a 3.5 was a lot worse. Eagles blocked 2 field goals. Outscored the Rams 24-7. And the last block field goal with no time left on the clock. Rams win the game if they kick the field goal. If it was just blocked, no run back, Eagles win the game. Still, he didn't have to run it back. There was no time left on the clock. Jordan Davis blocks the field goal and runs it back for a touchdown, 80 yards. Wild. Eagles had no business of winning that game, and that's what they do. They win games. They have no... So many times I've watched Eagles games, and I go, how did they win this game? But that's great as a team. That's why they won the Super Bowl. They win games that they don't play their best in. Very hard to do. It's wild to watch. Hats off to the Eagles there. But yeah, that's one of the worst bad beats I've had that I can remember. You know, when you're betting on sports often, you're always going to get bad beats. I try to forget them. So right now, this is the worst beat, the plus 3.5 I had for some time. And yeah, Rams should have won that game outright. But hats off to the Eagles. That's why they're the best right now, and that's why they stay on top of my power rankings. We're going to go right into the power rankings. Actually, before that, yeah, down week, like I mentioned, Ravens, the Rams plus 3.5. We did cash on another teaser. Teaser's been my best market so far after 3 weeks. That could change, right, throughout the season. But 3-0 in the teaser market. We had a plus 143 team teaser for clients. Two I gave to you guys with Arizona always being in there. Arizona was in all three that I gave out on the podcast. They've hit every time. We're going to stay away from them this week. But yeah, teaser market has been great for us. Up and down to start the year after a strong week two. Power rankings, guys. Let's get right into it. Eagles are going to stay at the top, right? Like if they lost to that Rams game, I would have moved them down. Bills probably would have went to the first. Yeah, Eagles have to stay on top until someone proves me they can beat them. Someone beat them. Then I'll move them. But right now they're staying at the top champs. What are they, like 19-2 or something? Or something like that crazy last 21. So yeah, Eagles stay there. Chargers move up to 3, guys. They've been looking good, beating solid teams too. Lions move to 4. Packers have to move down after that Cleveland loss. We'll talk about that here a little more in the Packers-Dallas breakdown. But yeah, Packers win that game 99 out of 100 times. I'm not going to be too worried about them after that loss. Let's see how they look in Dallas. And then Colts make their first appearance at 10. Big fall for the Ravens. I have to keep them in the top 10, guys. They lost a 2-5 top 10. If they lost to like a shitty team, I would move them out completely. But they lost to 2 top 5 teams. So let's not stress too much there. Let's do a quick Circa update as well, guys. Both entries survive. We're on to week 4 with both entries. That's always nice, especially when you're attacking. I'm attacking mid-table teams, not the best teams. Only once I did in one entry, and it was the Ravens. But I've been attacking, like last week was Seattle and Tampa, mid-level teams. I have them as, right? So you want to keep your later entries, you're the better teams for the later entries, right? That's the goal always, if you could do it. Now, sometimes you can't do it. Some weeks you have no choice. This week is another week that I can use mid-level teams, which I'm excited about. Let's get right into it, guys. Let's get right into it. Let me get a drink first. We're going to start with the Ravens game. Ravens minus 2.5 versus Chiefs at Arrowhead, guys. Total 48.5. Now, I talked about it. One of these teams are going to start 1-3. And you may think like on paper or at the start of the season, that's crazy. No way. Yes way. Yes way. But if you really look at their losses and their schedule, it was very doable. Right? Ravens lost to the Bills and the Lions, 2 top 5 teams, and the Chiefs lost to the Chargers and Eagles, top 5 teams. So why couldn't this happen? It was actually very doable, and here we are. Maybe we didn't think the Chargers would be this good, possibly, right? The Bills and Lions were always going to be top 5 teams. So I don't know why this is crazy. A lot of talk about how crazy this is. I think it's just how the Ravens did it, right? They should have beat the Bills. Derrick Henry's fumbles concerns, their defense. I think it's how they're losing games for the most part. Both took care of business against their one win. I think it's the Giants and Browns, just terrible teams. They took care of business, right? KC 22-9 against the Giants. Ravens blew out the Browns. I think it's 41-17. But, the Giants actually hung around in that game. Just Russell Wilson, just terrible. Terrible. Out of these two, though, the Ravens have looked like the better team, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Wow. Offensive side of the ball, Ravens best team in the NFL, right? Like I said, 111 points scored, 10 more than any other team. The Chiefs, though, that offense has struggled a ton, right? And you kind of predicted it with Worthy and Rice being out. I predicted it with just Rice being out in general. Kelsey taking a step back older, just not looking himself. And the O-line struggling. I watch Schwartz, one of the O-linemen that won a Super Bowl with the Chiefs. I watch his YouTube channel. He breaks down O-lines. He breaks down the Kansas City O-line. He has a lot of concerns. And you're seeing that in the run game. Run game can't get going. If your O-line's not going, the run game can't get going. So there's a lot of issues there on the Chiefs offense right now. So I think the Ravens defense can play well here. I don't think they're going to let up 30 points or something or 40 points like they did with this past the Lions and the Bills. But I do believe um, we see a much better Ravens defense here, especially with limited weapons. Now, the Ravens on the defensive side of the ball, Matt Ibuke is going to be out. It was just announced before I started the podcast here. It's a terrible loss for them. Best guy up front for them. Absolute terrible loss. And it could be long term too, I'm hearing. And as a Ravens fan, it's just terrible. Big time loss for them. And it showed, right? The Lions ran all over them, bullied the defensive line. You don't see a Ravens defensive line get bullied much. It got bullied in that game. Chiefs are going to want to try to take advantage there. Just a run game, and O-line's been struggling too. So I don't think it's the right team to take advantage, right? That Detroit offense was perfect to take advantage of that struggling defense right now. Jair Alexander's off too. They had Van Noy out. Hopefully one of their two of those guys come back this week versus the Chiefs. Two teams struggling in different areas, right? And let's face it, the Chiefs defense not playing great. It's not terrible, right? It's not Ravens terrible, but they haven't been playing great either, guys. So it is a tough handicap here. History says Chiefs win this game. They've owned the Ravens, winning 4 of the last 5 and both games last year, covering both too. This is in Arrowhead, so advantage there for the Chiefs, right? But when you look back at the tape and who's playing better, it's just the Ravens have been playing better football. And you expect them to be extra motivated for this game, especially that performance against the Lions. I'm going to lean the Ravens here. Definitely not betting this game. I'm not going to have any money on this game, not even on the total, even though I lean the total 48.5 under. I just want to watch this game. I am totally staying away from a bet on this game, but I am going to lean the under. I'm going to lean the Ravens here to get the job done. It's just, I always think back when I ever think about pulling the trigger against the Chiefs, against Ravens versus Chiefs on the Ravens. I think Lamar Jackson's comments. KC's our kryptonite. How do you say? You can't say that. They were right. He's right though, right? They have been. But is this the same Chiefs team? I don't believe so. Not even close. Right now, I think Ravens are catching them at a good time. No Worthy, no Rice. That offense is very limited, guys. So, again, staying away. I suggest you guys stay away too and just watch, enjoy this game. Maybe play some player props. Player props don't come out to usually Friday. Can't really talk about them on the podcast. I'm going to start betting them a little more probably when the season gets going. I don't like to bet it early because you don't really know how the offenses are going, who's getting targeted, etc. So yeah, I may have a player prop or two just to make it a little more exciting, the game. But yeah, I'll be just watching this game as a fan. Can't wait for it. Packers -7, some 6.5s out there versus Cowboys. Total 47.5. Big game here. Parsons returned to Dallas. Jerry Jones up in the press box, probably closing his eyes. No CeeDee Lamb in this game. Dallas is coming off 31. They allowed 31 points to the Bears, guys. This Dallas defense is absolutely terrible. So bad. The Packers have owned the Cowgirls, right? 5 straight wins over them. 48 points they scored last year on them in the playoff game. And they haven't scored less than 31 points in these 5 straight wins. If Dallas wins this game, I'd be surprised. Very surprised. I'll be all over Packers this week, guys. Packers, money line, teaser markets, 6.5. I'd be shocked if Dallas wins this game. The no CeeDee Lamb is huge, your main weapon. Their defense looks absolutely terrible, and you got multiple motivation factors for the Packers. Losing to that Cleveland team, they're going to be extra motivated. They're extra motivated to play well for Parsons in his return to Dallas. So yeah, I'm all over the Packers here in multiple markets, guys. I suggest you as well. Just too many green lights to bet the Packers. There's too many. I don't see any negatives. There's 0 negatives. What, they're on the road? That's the only thing. That's the only thing. I'm not going to look at that too much, that they're on the road. It's not a big factor for me. Monday Nighter, guys. Monday Nighter, Denver minus 7.5 versus Bengals. Total 44.5. Must-win game for Denver at home. I'm calling it right now. This is a must-win game for them to avoid going down 1-3. Chargers probably going to go 4-0. They have to win this game at home. And they are going to win this game, I believe. It's the Bengals without Joe Burrow. I'll be attacking the Bengals without Joe Burrow all season long. The morale is going to be gone on this team. Jamar Chase and Burrow. Think about when Joe Burrow went down. They thought, oh, my numbers are down the drain. Any fantasy owner, think about it. Having Chase Higgins, you're screwed. It's terrible. Terrible. Terrible for the sport too, right? Bengals they were winning games. They're 2-0. They found ways to win games. Now I do believe they're going to struggle to win games. This is going to be one of them. On the road, terrible backup QB in Denver. Denver team that I expect to start playing better. I've been surprised with their start. I thought they would come out a lot better. Their D has been underwhelming. And obviously Bo Nix has struggled. Very surprised with his play. One good game out of 3 so far. This is a great opportunity to get on track against this Bengals offense, guys. Easy get on track game. So I would be shocked if Denver doesn't win this game. And that's gonna lead right into the teaser market. Great spot for Denver. Take the -1.5, 6-point teaser, 7-point teaser, -1, just a win. Great spot here for Denver. And then we talked about it as well, Green Bay. We're just going to be attacking both these teams. One of these teams, there won't be a bad week. But I'm confident both of them get the job done. Third one, you can throw in Houston as well. Not as confident just because they're not playing great, but that defense, Ward on the road against that defense, tall task. Underdogs, guys. Underdogs. No luck last week after going 3-0 the week before. I like 2 this week. Smaller underdogs. Both can win. I think they're flip of a coin games. If you get plus money, why not? Atlanta at home. Now, it was ugly last week. Daniels, don't think he'll be back. If he's back, obviously I don't like Atlanta. But I think Atlanta gets back on track. I like a couple personnel coaching changes as well. So I'm going to look at Atlanta here and back them at home. Probably won't get a client bet, but it will be for podcast purposes. And then Bears. Flip of a coin against the Raiders. I think there's some confidence from the Bears after putting up 31 last week. I think they can go to the Raiders. Raiders look absolutely shit. So bad. Terrible. Bears easily could win that game. So you're giving me plus money when I have the game at 50-50 with a confident Bears team coming in there. Why not? Again, none of these underdogs will be making the client card this week. Rams did last week, and terrible luck. Just terrible luck, guys. That will do it, guys. That will do it for week 4. Looking for the podcast of the UFC Perth breakdowns. Looking forward to that card. Like I always say, guys, bet smart, know your limits. Enjoy this card.